Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. I recently borrowed a super fun little vintage Pobeda watch from a friend of mine, and I did a review of it. If you haven't seen that, there's a link in the description below. Be sure to check that out. After experiencing that fun little watch, I decided to keep my eyes open for Pobeda watches, and in short order, one came across my feed. This one is a dressier piece, but it had the same exact case as the one that I borrowed, and it was less than $40. It has arrived, so tonight we're gonna look at it. And here it is, the super cool little Pobeda watch. This was listed as a Pobeda Zim 231871. And this strap is not what it shipped on. It actually shipped on a very chintzy, lightweight bracelet that I actually had to pry off of this watch. I was completely unable to get one of the lugs out and had to actually break the lug. So now I actually have it on one of the leather straps that came on one of my other inexpensive Russian watches, and the buckle that originally came on this strap. What's kind of interesting about this strap is this little guy right here. How that loop is held together. It's actually kind of cool. I like how thin this strap is. It's pretty flexible, and it looks great on this watch. Now this watch is actually pretty difficult to photograph because this crystal has weird scratches and stuff all over it. Even though I've buffed it out a couple times with white diamond compound, I don't think it shows up on video, but in daylight they're pretty visible, and it just makes it look like it's dirty, like I need to clean it, or there's dust that's settled on it. So it's kind of tough to photograph. If you end up seeing that in this video, my apologies. Alright, so this case, like I mentioned, is the same case shape as the Radiation Pobeda watch that I borrowed and reviewed. And I like this case shape, it's pretty cool. It's very interesting because it's almost like there's a watch case here and then this thing was just kind of attached around it. Because it really doesn't flow into this bezel and how you see it coming through underneath there. And honestly, this case shape is part of the reason why I went with this watch. Because I knew I would like it. I really liked it on the Radiation watch. And it's kind of funny, you can see that the crown is 100% brass. So it is completely worn off whatever chrome was on there. But that's fine, it doesn't bother me much. As a friend of mine pointed out, this dial kind of has like a sea captain-y nautical look to it. And I know that there's actually a name for that style, but I looked all day today trying to remember and could not for the life of me find it or recall. But with that aesthetic, the brass fits perfectly. All right, let's try winding it. It feels pretty decent. You can hear it kind of snapping back, I think, if the microphone picks that up. In my experience, all these old Russian watches, you'll wind them and then it kind of snaps back just a touch. But it's not overly stiff or way too loose. It's a pretty decent amount of resistance as you're winding there. We see it has a sub-seconds dial there. Let's pull this out. It does not hack. So that seconds hand is still going around. But it feels pretty solid. There we go. It actually feels like a decent watch. And look at that dial. That looks so great. I love how stark black and white it is. Those Roman numerals are just really nice. And the hands look absolutely great on this. I feel like the hands are a really nice balance. They're a little bit fancy, but not over the top at all. And then you have a touch of maybe military or tooliness with the minutes track out there with the numbers called out. It looks so great. Looking at the case back. Oh, look at that. You can see where that chintzy bracelet had scraped this thing all to pieces there. But that's fine. Then we just have the serial number there. I guess maybe that's not the reference that they had listed. Maybe that's a serial number. I don't know. This was one of those purchases where the watch looked cool. I have no idea what's in it. I have no idea how franken this watch is. But it was less than $40. I just figured if it runs, great. And I actually put this on the timographer. Now, I'm not overly savvy about interpreting the values. But from what I can tell, the amplitude looked pretty decent. The beat error, I think, was kind of high. But it runs very fast, which isn't too much of a problem. I personally wind my watches twice a day, in the morning and then at night. So whenever I wind this, I just double check my phone and move the minute back a little bit if I need to. It's fine. As for the dimensions on this watch, it has 18mm lugs. The lug to lug is 42mm. The case width is 34mm. The case height is 11mm. As you would expect, of course, it has an acrylic crystal, and I'm not sure what movement is in this. If you know, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Alright, let me remove the space view, and I'll show you what this great little watch looks like on the wrist. Here is the dressy little Pobeda watch on my 7-inch wrist. That thing just looks so great. Even though it's really dressy, it's still super fun with that case shape. It's nice and thin. Part of the 11mm height is that box crystal. That dial is so cool. Look at that. It's pretty cool when you find a watch like this where it's super cheap, it runs okay, and it looks brilliant. I'm pretty sure if I took this in for servicing, it would probably keep really great time once it's properly calibrated. And as far as I can tell, it's a fairly healthy movement in there. But not bad at all. So there you have it, a super affordable vintage Pobeda watch that just looks brilliant. Thanks for watching.